back. It's Mrs. McKenrick, your friendly neighborhood art teacher, here for you today. I am joining you on Tuesday, March 31st, 2020, and we are going to do some dino digging today. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to Mrs. Colosimo's class. Hi guys, I hope you're doing well, and I hope that you are making some artwork at home and making great choices and being good friends. I miss you. Have a good day, okay? I'll see you soon. And also, let's take a little dive into our mailbag because I received some super cool tinfoil sculpture pictures inspired by the artist from yesterday, Alberto Giacometti. So let's take a peek. Here they are. All right, my friends, so today's art prompt says, what would it be like to travel back in time to the land of the dinosaurs? Remember, this week, if you want to keep doing drawings, that's fine. You can do drawings, but I wanted to mix things up a little bit this week. And we are going to be talking all week about the element of form. And form is all about creating objects that appear to have 3 dimensions: length, width, yeah, right? Yeah. Oh, some math friends are gonna watch this and go, oh, Mrs. McKenrick. Length, width, even if they're the same. And depth. Okay, that one's a little different. That's how thick something is. So for something to have 3 dimensions, that means it has to have volume. That means that you could fill it up with water, or you could fill it up with something and it would hold those things in if it had closed sides. 2-dimensional objects or 2-dimensional shapes are flat. 3-dimensional forms are flat. So we are going to create a sculpture today based on the work of an artist named Tony Rosenthal. And Tony Rosenthal was most famous for creating gigantic works of public art. His artwork can be seen in cities all over the world, including New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. I've even seen some of his sculptures in person. Tony Rosenthal was an abstract sculptor, which means that he created artwork not meant to look like anything in particular, but meant to be beautiful and to make you feel different things. One of his works of art, called 5-in-1, is located in New York City, and it is created using 5 disc shapes that are interlocking. Now this is a giant sculpture, really massive, and it's all made out of steel. We are not going to make anything out of steel today. I don't have my welding helmet with me, but instead we are going to use cardboard. So you are going to need, for today's technique, you're going to need some thin cardboard. And this reminds me I have to buy Swiffer Wet Jet refills, but I have a box from my Swiffer Wet Jet. Cereal box would work, oatmeal box, any sort of thin cardboard that you can cut through with scissors. That reminds me, you're going to need some scissors today. You are also going to need a pencil, and you're going to need some different circle shapes, different sizes. Now we're going to create a dinosaur using Tony Rosenthal's 5-in-1 sculpture as our inspiration. And if we look at that 5-in-1 sculpture, it doesn't really look like a dinosaur. But what you can see are how he used the discs interlocking or connected together to create an overall form. We're going to use that same technique and we're going to try and make a dinosaur. Okay, so I'm going to start by opening this up, and I guess I should probably just cut. There we go. Get a straight line through. There we go. Now, what's going to be cool about this, and part of the reason I chose this box is because it's so colorful. So if you'll have your cardboard side, but you'll also have the outside of the box. And so if you want to mix a couple of different boxes together, that would be cool too. You can play around with the colors and color choices. What you're going to do is you're going to be doing some tracing here. And this is really going to be a fun art project that is going to involve a lot of experimenting and trial and error. I know we've talked about that in the art room before, and I know you have definitely talked about it in STEM with Mrs. Falks and Mr. Steffen, but trial and error is all about try something out, you have an idea, if it doesn't work, what do you need to do to fix it? Artists do the same thing. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna start with a couple of circles. I'm gonna do some big ones because I think that the body, the main torso, I guess, of my dinosaur will probably be large circles. And I'm just holding the tracer down. We've all been tracing all year. Kindergarten, you know what I'm talking about. We've been doing this. Hold that tracer down, and the other hand goes around. And I'm just gonna show you this first one to get you started. And so you can see what the technique is that we're going to focus on. So I'm actually going to make this a little easier for myself. Instead of trying to cut using this giant piece of cardboard, I'm gonna cut away some of these pieces. There we go. So now I just have my 2 circles that I just traced. And I'm going to cut. Remember, it's important to use thin cardboard so that you can cut with scissors. A lot of the cardboard boxes and things that you might get packages in will be too thick for you to cut with scissors. Okay. Almost done with the first one. There's one. And, whoa. Whoa. Just imagine you guys being here. I feel like it would be way more fun. Okay, so I have my 2 circles. So let me just show you here what you're going to do. You're going to take your circles and you're going to cut a straight line into the center, okay? And you'll do the same thing to the other one. And then you take those 2 circles and you get them to lock together. There, like that. Now, one thing, maybe I'll flip this around so that I don't, there we go. It kind of changes up my pattern a little bit. There, aha. Okay, see that? Now, if I could lay that down on its side, you can see now it has form. It has length or width, and depth. It's deep also. Now, if we think of this like the main body of our dinosaur, and I'm going to do a brontosaurus. I'm sure there'll be kids out there who are like, that is not a brontosaurus, but I'm going to attempt to make a long neck, couple of legs, and a tail. Using this same technique, the tracing, cutting, interlocking technique, you could make anything. So you do you, go for it, do whatever you want to do, but you're gonna watch me attempt a dinosaur. Okay, so here we go. Well, here we are, kind of. Okay, so here's my dinosaur. Remember, when you're looking at my dinosaur and wondering what it is, remember that Tony Rosenthal's artwork is abstract, which means that it's not necessarily supposed to look realistic. So here's my Brontosaurus, or I might get some messages saying I made a Brachiosaurus or something else that I don't even know. Here's its neck and its head, the body, and its tail, and I put a little point at the tail. I could not, for the life of me, figure out how to get it to stand, how to have it have feet, but it actually stands up okay just by itself, so I'm okay with that. Hopefully what you saw was, you saw me playing with some things, you saw me making different things. I used some of my scraps here for my head and my tail. I hope you also saw that the things that I tried at first didn't all work out. So like I tried to put these pieces of cardboard on the legs. You can see all the cuts I made to try and get, I wanted it to kind of stand, like have the legs go like this and have the two circles slide in there, and I just could not get that correct. So instead, I just decided, well, we'd try it without the legs, and it actually stands up okay. So there is our Tony Rosenthal inspired interlocking cardboard sculpture. I would love to see whatever you make, and I hope that you will send me some photos. Have a great day. See ya.